Hey everybody, welcome back to Jamia's Promo, and today we'll be taking a look at what I believe to be the best accessories and cases to use on your Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3, as well as the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3, and some power accessories over here. If you're looking for some high quality 45 watt power bricks, you can have one right up over here that we'll be taking a look at later on in the video, as well as a very small compact 15 watt wireless charger. Now this thing is even smaller than the Galaxy Z Flip 3, and just for comparisons, anybody who has some of the Samsung Galaxy Buds, I mean, it's pretty much almost the same width as that as well too. So it's really cool to see some of these power accessories coming through that have some really high quality technology inside of them and some really good quality builds, some really nice cables. So we'll take a look at some of these Spigen power accessories here in just a little minute. And also too, I want to let you guys know that this video is not sponsored, not getting paid, wasn't giving any details to talk about. Honestly, I reached out to Spigen asking them for help because I couldn't find some good accessories or good cases for the Galaxy Z Fold 3 or Z Flip 3. The Samsung flip cover case just really wasn't a good case. It wasn't really a good design. And some of the other accessories I've seen online just didn't really look promising. So I know that Spigen always comes through. So they actually came through, sent off some cases. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on which one is the best ones, as well as which ones I am actually using, which are the ones on the phones right now, as you can see. Also, one thing you might notice is on the front of the Z Fold 3 here, I don't have the top cover on it. That's just my personal choice. I'm not really a big fan of having something on the front cover screen that kind of takes away from some of the usage and some of the edge, swiping, things like that. And so this is really all I really needed to have was a back plate that was able to protect the back of the phone as well as the camera module. So let's how about we take a look at the Z Flip 3 first. Now, Spigen does a really good job with all of their designs. And so right now, this one is going to be that thin fit. And they also have the tough armor. So if you're looking for something a little bit more thin, something that is, pretty skinny, pretty slim, I mean, really the name of it is really giving it away. This one is the thin fit. So it's two pieces, and you can see here that there is still some adhesive, some little pieces of tape that I still actually have to adhere. So when you put these on your phone, you're going to have small areas inside of here that you want to peel off. It's going to be adhesive. Then this way it would actually stay in your phone. Now, because I am switching between two phones, I've been going between this phone, the Z Fold 3, so I didn't really adhere it just because I switched my SIM card quite a bit back and forth, but it does a really good job with just staying in place. Now, the purpose of the adhesive is so then this right here wouldn't slide up. So if you find that you don't want to use that adhesive right away, you don't have to really take that off, and so it actually does a pretty good job with just staying on the phone. So when it comes down to the fingerprint reader on the right hand side, you want to make sure that you have a case that has enough space, so then this way when you've registered that your thumb, it would be able to pick it up. Sometimes it's a little too thick around the edges and it's harder for the fingerprint reader to actually read the fingerprint that you have assigned, and this one does a good job. I didn't have to go through to reassign it. Sometimes when you put a case on your phone, and if it is something that could change the way that your fingerprint is kind of being read, you might want to reassert your fingerprint reader or the fingerprint inside of there after you have the case on. Because again, even my thumb is going to be pushed in just a little bit with this edge right over here. So it just does a good job where I didn't have to reassert it. But that is one thing to note, is that if you have a previous fingerprint, you might want to reset it up, but it does a really good job. The power rocker does a really good job too as well. Sometimes I like it when it's clicky, it's not loose. It does just basically what it's supposed to do. It also looks really good. It has the cutout for your cover screen, also for the flash. It's going to have all the cutouts and the precise locations for all of the microphones, your speaker grill, everything else. It also gives a little bit more protection when you do close it as well. So if you're worried about aggressively closing the phone, this will give a little bit of protection with that as well. Now, inside of this case was these two pieces, as well as additional adhesive pieces on the inside. So the one that I am using personally is the Thin Fit. Now, if you want one that's going to be a little bit more protective than the one that we just got done looking at, then you'll take a look over here at Tough Armor. So this one is all one piece. So for the Tough Armor, this piece right here is all one piece, and they do a very, very good job when it comes down to the design of this, that when you actually fold it, then you're going to be able to protect the hinge right there. And then when it opens, as long as you have it on the phone and it's adhered, then it's going to go right back inside of itself. As you can see right here, it just goes right back inside. So we will be placing this on the phone right now. I just wanted to show you what this thing looked like when it wasn't on the phone. Now, when you put your phone in this case, the first thing you'd want to do is that if this is going to be the case that you're using, this is your primary case, you're not going to take it off, anything like that. Take off the little adhesive sleeves right here. So this way, when you place it on the phone, it's not going to shift and move around. Now, the top, it does a really good job with cupping the phone. And so it's really the bottom that would move. So let's just say that, you know, we took off the adhesives, things like that. We put the phone into place. So just taking a look around the phone here, you can see that everything aligns very well. It's completely open where your volume rocker and power button is. So this way there's nothing obscuring from your fingerprint reading. You have your Tough Armor written right there. And just the way that they've kind of gone through with some of the design, you know, they did a really good job. So there's a lip right here, not only a lip that is protecting your flash, but a lip protecting the cover screen. So it's kind of a tri-layer here. It's pretty cool. And again, there's no plastic that is right here. There's no plastic on the front of the phone when it comes down to some of those very, very protective armored, cases. But this one does everything it would need to do when it comes down to a flipping device. And again, I just love how this hinge just goes right inside of itself as well. Now, because I don't have the adhesives really adhered to the phone right here, it is going to kind of slip around and move around. But when I was using this one for a full entire week, I didn't really have any issues. And again, I just didn't take off the adhesive peelers just because I switched between the cases using them and also switching between the phones. So this is a really good option if you guys are looking for something. If you are tough on your phone, you'd be able to go for that Tough Armor. And again, all of these will be linked in the description below the video. So up next is going to be the Galaxy Z Fold 3, and there is a couple extra cases here. So you have the Thin Fit. You also have the Ultra Hybrid. Here is Tough Armor, and then this one is the Slim Armor Pro. And this one's actually the one I've personally been using on this phone right now. So I'm not using the front of it, but I am using the back plate. Now, again, that's just my personal choice. I like having something that is completely open on the front. Again, my job is not demanding as a stay-at-home father and as a YouTuber, so I'm not out and about in all of the elements. But this one is actually a two-piecer. And again, you'd want to make sure that you go through and you take off all of these little small adhesive little stickers right here. So this way it can stick to your phone. Now, if you had all of the adhesive onto the phone, all of this would be, staying right up over here and it wouldn't move around. So this is one of the things of why you'd want to, for some of these cases, take off these little pieces that gives the adhering to your phone. So here is the important part right back here, protecting of the hinge. It kind of looks like a full case. But when you take a look at the back, it's a pretty big lump, pretty big bump. It doesn't really go into itself. It's something that, another reason why I'm not using this piece right here. So when it comes down to something that's protective, if you don't mind the hump in the back, then you'd be able to take a look at this one right here. But it's, again, another reason why I don't use anything on the front. It may look a little weird or awkward to some people, but here we are. I am protecting the back of my phone, protecting the back of the device, protecting the camera module. And I'm usually pretty good with phones, especially when you have a phone that's this expensive. More than likely, you're going to be taking a look at it to where you never want to drop it. So taking this piece off over here, you can just see some of the technology that's built on the inside for a lot of the shock absorption, things like that. And it was actually pretty hard to get it off of my phone. So now what we're going to do is we will be going from basically the bottom up. So here we're going to go with the Thin Fit. So Thin Fit is just something if you want just a little bit of protection. So this one is two pieces, really no technology built inside of here. This is just going to give you a little bit of protection. This one, I could have used the back of this plate over here, but for some reason, the other one from the Armor Pro just felt a little bit better. So this is basically the same installation as really any other phone out there. So you just place that one on top of there. This one goes on the front. And again, this is one that you definitely want to take those adhesive stickers, the little peels off, so this way it can adhere to your phone. So if you are looking for something that can protect your phone, I mean, it does look pretty clean. They do a really good job around the hinge. Everything just closes. Everything meets the way that it's supposed to meet. But again, for me personally, I'm not really a big fan of the border around the front, and there's really nothing that any case company can really do to kind of fix that, just because it's my own personal opinion and choice, because this one is here to protect the front of your phone as well. So you can see that if you were to lay it down or if it was to drop, everything is covered when it comes down to these ones. So this one is going to be that thin fit one. Also, when it comes down to the fingerprint reader up over here, it doesn't obscure from it. It's really, really open. It's actually far away from it versus one of the other ones from the Z Flip 3. So this one's even further away to make sure that it doesn't take away from your fingerprint. So that one was the thin fit. This one over here now is going to be the Ultra Hybrid. And Ultra Hybrid, this one doesn't really feel too plasticky. It kind of almost has almost like a rubbery feel to it. It's kind of a mix of a couple different materials. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you do want to have a clear case, a clear cover that you'd want to put on your phone, then this one's going to be probably one of your best options. I saw another one online. I'm not really going to state the brand of it. Honestly, I couldn't remember the brand of it anyways, but theirs looked really, really not good and very, very cheap. So this one does a really good job at if you wanted to have a clear case and also protect the phone as well. Now over here, it's going to be the same setup. This entire area is all open. It's clear for you to use your volume rocker, the fingerprint for the power button. So on the bottom over here, you can see Spigen written, and you also have up over here that's called air cushion technology. So in all of the corners, it looks like that there is something that they refer to as air cushion technology. So this way it will take some of the impact, and really it's that area that I feel on the top that kind of has a rubbery kind of a feel, not plasticky, so it doesn't feel cheap at all. Now, because the front plate up over here to protect the front of the phone is clear, it actually kind of doesn't take away from the phone because you can see through it. It just kind of seemed to me when I had black cases, maybe that was the issue. It seemed like there was a border that was just going around the phone. I didn't really want to have a border around it when we have an all display screen. But again, it looks really good. It feels really good. All you want to do is just take off those little adhesive pieces for it to adhere to the phone itself. Everything looks really good. So if you're looking for a clear option, you take a look over at the Ultra Hybrid. This one's the Tough Armor. It's the same Tough Armor that you had over here when it came down to the Z Flip 3, where they had that technology where it just went right inside of the case itself. Now, the first one that we saw was 2 pieces, and this was the one that had that hump on the back. So now if you wanted to have something that was that protective as one piece that would not have that hump on the back, then this would be your option you'd be taking a look at. Again, this one's called Tough Armor. So all you got to do is just place this onto your phone. Again, take off these little pieces that it would be able to adhere to your device. And then when you close it, you're going to have, again, this big area right over here that is protecting the front of your phone. But again, I'm not a big fan of something that was taking up that much of the screen, but it is protecting the phone, and also it has that technology where it goes right inside of itself as well. Now you can see with this one, because it's not adhered, that it's going to be slipping. Now once you actually have this onto the phone, then you're going to notice that it'll go right into itself, and it does a really good job at protecting pretty much everything: the hinge, the front, the back. And also too, when you take a look over on the right hand side, you're going to see that you do have a lot of space still when it comes down to your fingerprint reader, also your volume rocker. So this one's going to be the one if you want it to be very, very protective. If you are, again, out in the elements, maybe a construction worker, things like that. So that one right here is called Tough Armor. The other one over here is a 2-piecer. And when it comes down to the 2-piece, it also does give a lot of protection to your phone. So this one's called the Sim Armor Pro. Now, because I like using the back plate, this is the reason why I like using this setup right here. Then you also have, again, for something that was clear, something that still protects, you have your Ultra Hybrid. And then you got the last one over here that's called Thin Fit. So it's very, very slim. It's 2 pieces. It gives a little bit of protection to your device. Now, if you have the Z Fold 3, if you want one with a lot of protection, I believe a lot of people are going to love this one right here. It's going to be tough armor. If you want one that you're not as hard on your phone, but you still want protection and you want to, just feel safe holding this thing. And even if it does drop, more likely you're going to be good to go. Then you're going to be taking a look at Thin Fit. Now, taking a look at the power accessories over here. So this one's actually still plugged in. It's sitting at my desk. This is what I use to wirelessly charge pretty much any product I have because it has a bunch of different outputs. So if you're looking for one that is for smaller accessories, you have your 5 watt. You also have 7.5 watt, 10 watt, and 15 watt for your high-end Samsung phones and other devices out there. So again, because it has 4 different outputs, it's really safe for pretty much whatever you are charging up. And then over here, you do have your Spigen Power Arc. So this is the Arc Station Pro. This one's a 45 watt power brick. It's made with gallium nitride. So it's able to be a little bit faster, cooler, and a little bit smaller. So you can see on the back over here, it's cooler, faster, 45 watt power, 30% smaller. So looking at the specifications for the 45 watt charging brick over here, so you do have a bunch of different outputs because it is a PD output. So basically this first one over here is going to be 15 watts. This one is right around 21 watts. This is going to be 45 watt and then another 45 watt. So there's a bunch of different, voltage and amps that goes with a lot of different products. And so this one does cover all of those. So if you're looking for something that is very, very safe to charge anything up to 45 watts, then you'd be able to use the Spigen Power Arc Station Pro. And I also really like the power cable that comes with it. I mean, this thing is just a threaded piece of awesomeness, and it does have a little bit of bend with it as well. So this way, if you do want to put it into a particular location, it's going around something, you'd be able to kind of put it into its place. And the nice thing about that is that it's not trying to fight anything and fray or do anything messed up. And so this one, if you're looking for something that is high durable, good quality, charging brick, because a lot of these phones these days don't come with any charging accessories on the inside, you'd be able to take a look here over at Spigen. Now, one thing I almost forgot to talk about was the charging port on the bottom. So sometimes when you have protective cases, they might be too close to that charging port on the bottom to where it would not allow some of these power cables to be plugged in. So they did a really good job, with the fingerprint reader, with all of the speaker grill cutouts, also along with all of the microphone cutouts, things like that. So this is one of those power cables I found that was, pretty thick, one that could maybe possibly be stopped and has been stopped in the past. So it does a really good job. And you can see how easy that cable goes in. Now, when you take a look over at this, the Power Arc one from Spigen, this one really snaps into place. So if you're afraid of maybe the wear and tear on some of these cables that fall out super easy, this one actually kind of snaps into place. So if you've ever used a cable that sometimes just falls out, maybe when you try to pick it up and use it, then this one's going to have a really good connection, and it just really snaps into place if that is one of those things that you are looking for. So again, cases are also cable friendly. But I hope you guys appreciated this video. If you guys did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Subscribe right over here in the very bottom left-hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.